Chapter 6: Social Media.
The changes in digital technologies that happened over the course of the latter half of the previous century led to a complete revolution in the forms of communication and interaction between people. The internet boomed for regular users in the late 90s, early 2000s, attracting society with access to new services like online shopping, Amazon, auctions, eBay, blogging, LiveJournal 1999, and early social media such as MySpace, 2003, and Facebook, 2004. The evolution of the cell phone into a smartphone with a touchscreen, built-in cameras, and other bells and whistles shifted the focus from desktop to mobile applications, allowing users to communicate not only by texting but also by sharing pictures, Instagram 2010, videos, Snapchat 2011, and even doing live streams, YouTube 2005. In just 2 decades, the gigantic world, and pretty much everything it had to offer, shrunk to the size of a device that one could easily hide in the pocket of one's jeans. In their initial phases, social media lured people through convenient and fast forms of access and communication between users. Expectedly, any accumulation of the crowd, even virtual, was becoming noticed and highly appealing for massive advertisement campaigns. And just like every other great idea that was meant to be good for society, the fine concept of easy communication had no escape from being capitalized, and eventually became a tool to spread the fundamental message of capitalism to humanity: spend. And everything got fucked up. Driven by the cash from ads, different online platforms got an opportunity to pay money to their users with significant number of followers and views. The time between the launching of a brand new social media and opening their platform for advertisements varies. Still, it is the unavoidable fate for all of them. Monetizing content encouraged people to create even more content and attract even more followers, which also paved the way for paid advertisements, hence fueling the growth of social media. Apart from growing the number of so-called influencers, it was necessary to work on the algorithm, which based on the overall collected data, such as search history and geolocation, would deliver advertisements aimed precisely at a specific user, based on their preferences. Interestingly enough, some individuals out there amuse themselves by concocting tales that major social media companies gather user data to engage in espionage, or sell it to agencies like the FBI and CIA. First of all, I do not believe that the FBI or CIA is overly concerned about what kind of crap we Google, or what porn we watch, though it is never a bad idea to cover the web camera on your laptop with duct tape, just in case. Second of all, if you are afraid of your data or posts getting into the wrong hands, do not post. No one will ever download or screenshot Instagram pictures of your naked ass if you do not put it out there in the first place. But then again, an act like this can be expected to be done by some local creep rather than a major international company. And even though it may be unsettling that your phone number or email address may be passed to third-party organizations, conspiracy theories aside, it is all about targeted marketing and flooding you with extra advertisements. Big companies do not care about you. They care about selling you their stuff. Another interesting twist of things that adds to the fact that it is all about selling ads. Back in the day, we started with paid digital services, which with the progress of time were becoming packed with more and more commercials. Then we were kindly transferred to free services, and were generously given the opportunity to pay a subscription fee, so we could use them without a crapload of annoying ads. The scheme did not harm the service providers, as their money was not lost in the process. If the business end of social media is quite straightforward and obvious, the real mystery lies in these questions. How the hell have they managed to hook that many people and make them obsessed? How come, despite all the fun that is out there, social media causes tremendous damage through engagement to modern society? To address the first question, it is necessary to recall the information about the human brain from Chapter 1. Whether we like it or not, it is a common practice to involve neurobiology and psychology for more productive tricking of people into an addiction to a product, and influencing their choice. People in the role of potential buyers have undeniably become a valuable asset for the never-ending and ever-growing process of production consumption. So, back to neurobiology. Our brains get an excessive amount of two main things while using social media. Firstly, there is a validation of our self-worth via likes and comments under our posts. It sucks in a person's mind at the snap of a finger. The truth is that for most of us, our lives are rather dull, filled with commuting to work and back home, doing chores, and eating cold pizza in front of the TV before going to bed. Whereas in the virtual world, we are beautiful, cool, and maybe even successful, since it is what we read in the comments. And we tend to believe it, because it appears to be convenient, and what is more important, it is an easy way to escape the dull reality. In the past, you might have gotten a compliment from your coworker about your new haircut or on an outfit, which would genuinely cheer you up. These days, you can post a casual picture of yourself out there, get way more than one comment and like in a matter of an hour, and eventually punch a hole in the roof with your boosted self-esteem. And while there's nothing wrong with getting praise and approval from your folks, there's everything wrong with getting too much approval for minimal effort. Constant undeserved boosts of self-esteem lead to inevitable distortion of your perception of reality and affect your interaction with other people in the real world. If someone in real life dares to question or criticize you, they turn your worst enemy. No matter who it is, your parents, best friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, you name it. Good thing is you can quickly dive into the perfect online world for an additional dose of approval and dopamine from those who you think genuinely understand your worth and your sophisticated nature. Rather sooner than later, you become an arrogant piece of shit, which only pushes you away from the real world with real people towards the world of fake contentment and very real loneliness. Another thing that makes us super addicted to social media is also related to the way our brain works. The outcome once again triggers the surge of dopamine. However, the addiction is based on a different mechanism, one that glues us to the screens of our phones and makes us scroll through the feed for hours non-stop. The human brain is naturally curious, because knowledge and experience increase chances of predicting the possible outcome, and ensuring we remain safe and alive. Regardless, when we are not in any danger, our brain can become incredibly rewarding when it makes a mistake in its predictions. Why? This is because a different result teaches us something new, something we were not able to predict. And since we've become smarter and even progressed in some way, at least from cognitive abilities, here, take a dopamine cookie for you have successfully increased your chances to survive in the perilous world. Remember your reaction when someone told you a joke, and you had already known the ending? You might have laughed again, but the reaction would have been less intense. And when you listen to the same joke or a story over and over again, it simply becomes boring. The same mechanism works and rewards us with dopamine when we watch short stories on social media. We have talked about it in Chapter 3 already, remember? Our brain again gets ahead of itself, and again rewards us at the end. So, now you know that it is not you who can't get your ass off the couch to do some real stuff. It is your addicted brain that is guilty. Since we have discussed that social media can work as a powerful tool to easily boost our self-esteem, it is absolutely necessary to mention its darker side, the one that is even more powerful and can seriously crash our mental health. The truth is that many things you see out there are fake. Still, that fake reality leads to a real and, frankly, quite damaging impact on the way you see the world around you. Scrolling through endless posts and stories of people who seem happier, wealthier, more beautiful, more successful, in a better relationship, luckier, finer than you in literally everything, and the list of more goes on, you eventually come up with the only possible conclusion. The only loser out there is you. The comment section below your posts keeps telling you that you're the best, but it seems not enough to fight the ever-growing anxiety that you are a big failure. And the longer you immerse yourself into the deep ocean of fakeness, the more it makes you believe your existence is miserable. You compare the perfect, staged lives that you see online to your reality full of troubles, routines, and mundane everyday being, and you always lose. You feel incomplete and miserable, because you are not the one chilling at luxurious resorts on the coast of the ocean. It is not you who is cruising in $1 million supercar with a smoking hot tan date beside you. It is not you who walks on a red carpet. It is never you. You've well learned the idea that all those things are normal, but still, somehow, they remain unobtainable for you. You feel like you are doing something completely wrong with your life, while the folks around you appear to be living their lives to the fullest. But, are they? Really? In the endless kaleidoscope of happy faces and ever-going celebrations, it is so easy to forget that behind those pictures, there are regular people with their regular problems. These are individuals addicted to constant validation of their worth, since it is, apparently, the only chance to prolong their twisted sense of happiness. Don't believe me? Ask yourself, do truly happy people need the illusion that someone else genuinely cares about what they do, what they wear, where they go, and what they eat? Do happy people try their hardest to stage a perfect shot only to get more likes or followers? Do happy people brag about their stuff? Do happy people try to prove anything to others? No, they don't. They don't give the slightest damn. They are at peace without additional validation, and they know it. But hey, at least social media gives you a solid feeling of being a part of something bigger. An Instagram picture of a lady with a focus on her naked ass and some fancy hotel in Dubai in the background displays a progressive human being with relatively low moral standards. But as soon as you see the hashtag Stand with Ukraine or Black Lives Matter, you immediately get a clear idea that the author is a very concerned person who flashes her butt only to grab additional attention to the terrible global problem. But what if people like that connect themselves to genuinely tragic and horrifying issues only to advertise themselves? No, it can't be true. Of course not. So, I encourage you to add as many hot hashtags to your posts as you know, to show everyone how deeply you care. And don't waste a second of your time on thinking how fake and hypocritical it is to people who do suffer from all those problems on a daily basis. Fortunately, you will most likely never meet them in real life. A rather weird opportunity for random folks to blow up for making short viral videos, or simply being freaks. It works amazingly well too, and quite soon turn into social media celebrities, only adds more wood to the fire of the overall addiction of society. Riding a gravy train has always been a subject of interest for people, since we have been taught for ages that money is the key to happiness. But isn't it odd and unsettling that there are so many adults who are busy posting their covers of viral dances on TikTok to hop on the wave of hype? Isn't it even more disturbing when parents display their children online in the hope of gaining more of quite questionable fame? Isn't it disturbing that people are ready to do the weirdest, sometimes fatal crap to themselves only to chase beneficial publicity? Isn't it strange that society does not condemn these people? No. It is not strange. We live in a very interesting time when proclaimed liberalism and freedom of society expand at the expense of stepping away from common human morals and decency. This digital age hasn't made us better, happier, or more liberated. Instead, it has enabled us to amplify our shortcomings and share them with each other at an alarming speed. So, what is next? The very tiny amount of people who are truly in control of all the madness that is happening in the modern world do not show any signs of potential changes. They are busy making money. People who happen to climb above the crowd and manage to build a certain authority are also busy making money on their followers by selling them crap in their own dreams, and at the same time promising them secret knowledge on how to escape the matrix. And at the bottom of the food chain, there is a majority of regular folks who are extremely happy that they now have enough freedom to throw insults at each other online, flash their things on OnlyFans, shake asses on TikTok, and speak to the whole world about their pronouns and that they identify themselves as a tree. I have a strong feeling that humanity is getting dumber. Seriously, think about it. If you want to build a successful product, or run a profitable business, you surround yourself with intelligent people, right? On the other hand, if you're interested in making money off of people, you need them to be gullible. You would encourage and promote idiotism and ignorance in society, so you can milk it more easily. I strongly suggest woke and enlightened folks skip the next few sentences to prevent any discomfort, since I will say this. If the agenda of any government is to protect the right of a unit with XY chromosomes to put on a dress, and use XX chromosome units' restrooms just because they feel like so, then this world is officially fucked up, and the real agenda is to build a society of idiots, who will eat shit, taking it for chocolate, while being robbed by their own state. For the sake of throwing a little more shit on a fan. Dear feminists, how come you put up with transitioned biological men? You've been fighting oppressing patriarchy for decades, and now, the most dedicated of us, men, have learned how to tuck their pride, applied some camouflage, put on heels, and are doing their best to turn your biology into a joke. Please, dear feminists, do something about it before it is too late, and before too many of those you've been bravely fighting with for equality sneak inside your camp and take all Miss Universe nominations and sporting awards from you. Go girls! All that abundance of liberty sometimes happens to be spoiled by criticism from the conservative part of society, which believes it has not lost its mind completely. But hey, let's just forgive those conservative and old-fashioned folks, for they are not open-minded enough to experience the wonders of progressive life. But is there anything good about social media at all? Yes, of course there is. If you, my friend, take a step back from the overwhelming propaganda of materialism and idiotism, you may notice that there are a lot of people who genuinely care about something different than money and hype. It is the best ever tool for folks to share their experiences, knowledge, information, art, etc. There is tons of truly high-quality content that requires hours of hard work to create. And people behind this kind of content unquestionably deserve praise and acknowledgement for their work. People like these don't try to manipulate you into a world of lies for their own benefit, but rather highlight to you the unbelievable beauty of the real world around us. And of course, there are memes, a blessing from the internet gods. We've been living alongside virtual reality for over 20 years already. The whole generation has grown, that doesn't know a different way of living. I am actually happy that I will live long enough to see Gen Z becoming old. But hey, I hope that it is not a majority of them that are displayed online. I hope most of them are lovely kids, who will find their way through the endless streams of crap that are being thrown at them day after day. The internet is a big part of our everyday being, and there's not much we can do to change that. But keep in mind that you, my friend, as a user, are constantly at a high risk of getting sucked into the ocean of shit and brainwashed for someone else's advantage. The responsibility to protect yourself from this lies solely with you.